Small Saga is a role-playing game where you play as a rat. A mouse who seeks revenge against the god who stole his tail. Yeah. I've had my eyes on this game for a while, and when it came out back in November 2023, I beat that sucker in a week. I was also streaming the first 2 hours of Small Saga to my friends, and we were picking characters to voice on some voice acting shit. And here's a reenactment of it.
The dog was...
And you know, I dabble with RPGs. I played games like Pokemon, the Mario and Luigi series, Darkest Dungeon, Slay the Spire. Look, my catalog ain't vast, but I can get down and dirty with the RPG. And in this game, you play as a rat! So it caught my interest when I first heard about it back on Twitter, talking like maybe 2019 or some bills. Man, talk about an awesome fucking game. I mean, Small Saga, I love Small Saga. Very standard RPG. You got a skill tree, equipment to use and wear, simple turn-based combat, and a fishing minigame. Gotta have that. If you ever played any RPG, you won't be disturbed by some weird mechanic. But no knock to Small Saga though, it does what it does right. If anything, you don't level up by XP, but by the progression in the story after events, which I do like my good old-fashioned experience points, but it didn't bug me one bit. And being the rodent you are, you're traversing the lands of London through sewage systems, trees, burrows, and carrier pigeons, carrying your party above the lands. It's great. And these vermin folk got it down too. They got a 1400s Paris mindset with their architecture, gears and pulleys that feed their people into their kingdom, or bridging over rushing waters over to Murder. I think that's how you pronounce it. A town filled with many kin alike. And by the time you get there, you're already a bit chummy with the squirrel who plays a mean fiddle and a mole who spec'd into pyromancy. Though chummy ain't the word, Vermin's just like, I don't give a fuck if they die. I'm gonna keep this shit pushing. Fighting off squid and shit. You know, he was a little dramatic there. You know, I don't think he needed to do that. Maybe he could have been friends with them. You know, that could have been a third party member. I think that if I was the developer, that's what I would have done. I would have been like third party member. He's a healer. Ooh, y'all didn't think that one. And speaking of Verm, let me get this out of the way, especially because I recently just read it all. The game is inspired from Berserk. I mean, just look at Verm. He's got the missing tail thing going on, tries to be a lone wolf, and the sword. Like when you walk into towns, the people are like, "Whoa, check out that cool rat with that rat weapon. Do you think I can kill a rat with that rat weapon that the rat is holding?"
You're saying it weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the...
And just a bunch more references. Shit, baby. First 20 minutes, there's a scene that is identical to the manga. Had the Berserk fans geeking and shit. Or crying, you know, whichever. Pretty cool playing the back though with that knowledge in my noggin though. Hey, you know, if my name was Stilton, I would say that I would Geronimo myself into a Stilton scenario. You know what I'm saying? It's like a joke, I think. I think that's what, okay. Albeit, it is pretty easy and short. My first playthrough was like under 8 hours, and I had only one character die during a boss fight because I don't give a fuck. Also, one last thing. One of the characters says, "Ooh, ooh, soft boy." Like, out of all the words they could have picked in the rat dictionary, linguistics, if you will, they said that. Like, they said that. Like, no. Like, they must have heard that shit echo from the gods or some shit. Like, they heard it, like, underneath, like, a sidewalk or some shit. Like, they were underneath that grate, and they were like, oh, okay, like I heard this guy use it. This god. I'm gonna use it too because I like how it sounds. I'm sure every other rat will like catch on with it. You know, it's not like they got Twitter or some shit and they can just see that. You know, or maybe they do. I don't know. But either way, I'm not gonna point fingers at who said it. But that shit was a left hook to the chin. I had to shrug it off and put my hands in my pocket. But yeah, that sums up the game. Besides all that, I think that sums up the game. But I do have one more thing to say. Thank you, Daria. I remember playing the Kickstarter demo summer of 2019, and I was so enthralled and eagerly awaited till the day it dropped. And when it released, I had already graduated high school, moved out of my parents' place, and I was going through the perils of being an adult and what life had to offer. So what I'm saying is, this was like the second wind I needed. You really made something here that I admire, and I'm so happy to be part of the journey. Can't wait for what else you have in store. And then, you know, and that's real. This was all an elaborate ruse just to say thank you. I don't have any further plans, like for reviewing games. I can't write for shit if you haven't if you haven't realized. However, my point still stands. Thank you, Daria. Everyone should play this game. It's great. Play as a mouse. Ooh, hold the phone. Did you see a mouse? Yes, I said a mouse. Yes, folks. You can sit down in your chairs. I said a mouse. Go play this game. It's great. Yep.